Hello and welcome back to the Acca Backer here on the Racing Post YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I'm joined with my friends and Racing Post colleagues Liam Flynn and Dan Childs. We're back to formulate your football accumulator for this weekend. Last week we done a giveaway. Well done to everyone who entered and thank you for entering. Our winner was Leon Webb. We'll be in touch, Leon. You've won a football shirt of your choice, very well done. And we're running a giveaway this week as well, a football shirt of your choice. All you have to do is like this video, comment on this video and subscribe to the Racing Post YouTube channel and we'll announce the winner next week. Gents, how are we first of all?
Yeah, very good.
Good. How's the week been? Any good tips so far?
It's a slow start to the week because it's an international break, so you've not got the usual sort of slew of midweek games, but no, just waiting for it to get busy, I think, going into the weekend.
Liam, good to have you back on the show, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you. Good to be back on.
And we'll get your first tip. What is it?
Yeah, well, obviously there's a lot of international football going on, but I'm going to start in the EFL with Portsmouth to beat Gillingham. Now, it's not been the greatest starts of the season for Pompey. I mean, many expected them to fight for promotion. You know, they were very strong last season, but they struggled to start stringing results together. But they look like they might have turned a corner recently. Beat Bolton, and as we were just saying off air a moment ago, Bolton have started to improve slightly now. Obviously, had very financial difficulties at the start of the season, but they beat Bolton. And then, of course, beat Doncaster. And before that, and after that, obviously, they won away to Oxford on penalties in the EFL Trophy. I think when they've got forwards like sort of Brett Pittman and John Marquis, it's only a matter of time before they were going to start stringing together results and getting wins under their belts. And I think Gillingham should represent a pretty straightforward 3 points at Fratton Park. The Gills have one win in their last 5 games, and that game actually was against a struggling Southend side who were reduced to 10 men, so we can't draw too much from that. They've not won away in the league this season, and I think, they're probably worth opposing on the South Coast. So Portsmouth to beat Gillingham to start it off.
Yeah, Dan, I've seen a lot in the week about Pompey possibly being able to turn their fortunes around. Do you think they will? Liam mentioned a few great players there.
Yeah, I mean, they're for that level, they're one of the strongest, biggest clubs in League One. Another player I've mentioned, Marcus Harness, who they got from Burton. I know he was injured earlier in the season, bit of a creative spark, and he has come back to fitness in the last couple of games, so maybe that's just a key to their revival, and I would expect them to carry on winning, yeah.
Portsmouth going the Acca Backer. Dan, what's your first pick, mate?
I'm going to stick with League One. I'm going to go for Peterborough at home to Lincoln. I think Peterborough are going to be... They've had a slow start to the season. I think lost the first 2 games, but I do feel they're a strong team in this division. They're high scorers. They're at home to Lincoln, who are 11th mid-table. Michael Appleton's just gone in there. They did have a decent result against Sunderland that caused actually Jack Ross, didn't he? Was sacked after the game. But Lincoln beat Sunderland 2-0. That's a boost for them. But I just feel going away to Peterborough. Peterborough have won their last 3 home games. They're the top scorers, not just in League One, top scorers in the whole of the EFL. 26 goals in League One this season. They've also got the top 2 goal scorers in the entire EFL. Ivan Toney with 9 goals and Mohamed Issa with 9 goals as well. Marcus Maddison not too far behind them, so he's got 6 as well. So they've got a real 3 players there attacking wise that can just tear defences to shreds at that level. Lincoln, I think, are going to have a decent season, but I think this is a tough away trip for them. Peterborough to go in the Acca Backer.
Liam, is there a worry here with Peterborough that Dan mentioned there, they score a lot of goals, but they concede a lot of goals as well, and you never quite like putting a team in your Acca that concedes so many.
No, absolutely, but I think the key thing about this week is they are at home, and there's such disparity in the way that Peterborough seem to play away from home and when they're on home soil, so I think that's a great tip, especially like Dan said, with the attacking quality they've got. I'm a big fan of Marcus Maddison as well, so yeah, I think that's a good one.
Peterborough go in the Acca Backer, an exciting team to watch and hopefully an exciting team to put in your accumulator. Liam, what's your second choice?
Yeah, so now I'm going to go for something international. Turkey to beat Albania. Turkey made a superb start to Euro 2020 qualification. 5 wins, 1 defeat from their 6 games so far. They beat a France side, which was pretty much at full strength, 2-0. They look very comfortable in that game at home. And they've got some very exciting young players coming through, especially in the final third, the likes of the Roma winger Cengiz Under and Lille's Yusuf Yazici. They're both very creative outlets for them. And at the back, Kanayan is a player playing plying his trade in Germany. He's an exciting player to keep an eye on as well. Albania, they've struggled on their travels in this qualifying process. They lost to France 4-1, lost to Iceland 1-0 in recent trips, and I think Turkey will take great confidence from the fact they won the reverse fixture 2-0. And there are a lot of teams going into this European qualification round who may be having the Nations League playoffs back in their mind. Obviously, a lot of them have guaranteed a playoff spot through that, but Turkey are a team who I think have had such a good start to this Euro 2020 qualification process, and I think they're a good accumulator selection to do the double over Albania.
It's worth noting that game is Friday night, so please do get your bets on before that. Dan, what's your approach with international football in terms of betting? Do you approach it as the same as domestic football, or is it slightly different?
I think you've got to be, because there's such a gap often between the games, you've got a month to the last group of games, you've got to look at the squads when they come out, because some teams rely a hell of a lot on individual players. I mean, you just think of like Wales. I mean, if Dan James, Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale, if any of them, those are missing, it's the players coming in, you got the likes of sort of Sam Vokes, you're dropping down, quite a level. So your team news is crucial, and so look for the squads to come out. As soon as you see that, work out who your pick is going to be.
Brilliant. Turkey to beat Albania. That goes in the Acca Backer. Dan, what's your final pick for the fourfold, mate?
I'm going to drop down to League Two. Going to go for Bradford away to Morecambe. Bradford 6 in League Two. I think their aim will be to finish even higher than that. I mean, they're probably arguably the biggest club, I would say, in League Two. Get gates, around the 18,000 mark. They've sold all their tickets at Morecambe. This is one of the factors I look at as well. When you're back in an away side, they're going to have, I would say, at least half of the stadium supporting them. So it's less of a feel like an away fixture. Morecambe at home have the 23rd in League Two. At the moment, because there's probably only going to be one relegation place because of what happened to Bury, that might be just enough to survive. But constantly, Bentley there has such a tough job. They've got the lowest budget, I feel, in League Two. Haven't won at home yet. They've had no wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats. Bradford on decent run at the moment. You look at what up front they strengthened in some of their Clayton Donaldson, one of the guys that they brought in, James Vaughan as well, who I think was suspended last week, maybe available. I think he is available to play this week. So that's another boost tick in the Bradford box. So Bradford to win this one at Morecambe.
Brilliant. If you want to back the boys' tips, that fourfold is about 7-1. Please do shop around for the best odds. Right, on to the wild cards now. Slightly higher odds. But Liam, I love this wild card from you.
Yeah,
what is it?
I wonder why. Finland to beat Bosnia. Bosnia, they've fallen off the pace a bit in qualifying in Group G. Only 2 wins from 6 matches. Armenia, Finland and Italy all above them in the standings. They lost 4-2 to Armenia last time out. And the scorer of the first goal on that occasion, their captain and Roma striker, Edin Dzeko, everyone familiar with him, I'm sure, from his days at Manchester City. He's actually out for this game with Finland as well. And they don't have an awful lot going forward beyond him. Miralem Pjanic is obviously kind of the key man who pulls the strings in midfield, but doesn't have a lot ahead of him. Finland won the reverse fixture 2-0. They pushed Italy close in a 2-1 defeat, and before that they had 4 successive wins to 0. So I think at the back, Lukas Hradecki, their goalkeeper, playing for Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, look at his showreel on YouTube. Some of his saves are absolutely terrific. He's a quality shot stopper. And then, as you know, at the other end of the pitch, you've got Teemu Pukki, a constant threat in the final third, scored 6 Premier League goals for Norwich this season. So I think, it's very overpriced for me. Finland to beat Bosnia. Yeah,
Teemu Pukki not scoring so much recently, but as we all know, the Pukki party never stops. Dan, what's your wild card, mate?
I'm going to go League Two again. Forest Green, a top of the table clash. They're leading League Two at the moment. They're away to Exeter, who are second in League Two. Just think Forest Green, I think they're around 7-2 mark. Just looks a big price. And I know earlier in the season they were nicking games and they weren't faring that well on the shot stats. But actually, if you look at the last couple of games they played, won 4-0 away to Salford, really convincingly. Won 3-1 at home to Crawley, dominated the shot count in that game. So it does look like they're playing a little bit better. Now, there's reasons behind that as well. They lacked a little bit up front. Williams, who was a key striker for them, got injured. He was out long term, but they brought in Aaron Collins. He got injured as well. Aaron Collins has come back for the last 2 games, scored in both of them. Just gives them a little bit of an X factor up front. They're a very, very good defensive side. Got a joint best defensive record in League Two, so that's a good sign when you're going into a tough away game. Exeter, I do respect Exeter. They went away to Crewe, a fellow promotion hopeful last weekend. drew 1-1. By all accounts, played very, very well. But then you look back to their previous game, they were at home to Grimsby. They lost that game 3-1. Apparently, Grimsby were deserving winners. If Grimsby can go and win there, I would say Forest Green can as well.
Convincing argument to me. Thanks very much, boys. That's sixfold. If you want the wildcards with the aforementioned fourfold, that will return about 150 to 1. As I said, please do shop around for the best odds. Thank you so much for watching this week's Acca Backer. Please do remember to enter the competition. All you have to do is like this video, comment on this video, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks to Liam, thanks to Dan, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.